Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a comparison of beauty blenders. I was requested to do this video quite a while ago actually, and it was the Victoria J. I did a collab with her recently, and she's also one of my collab partners for the Disney Princesses. And I have in my bag some freshly washed, although I did use one today, beauty blenders, and I wanted to give you a comparison of the most expensive one that I have and then going down to the lowest price and talk about them. So I do have the original beauty blender, and then I do have the Real Techniques, and I do have some dupes, and I wanted to talk about them all and the prices and what they do, and really give an all-round view. Some of them, one of them I can't actually remember what the name was, so I do apologise, but I'll go through that anyway. So I'll show you them all in my hand. Like I say, one of them I did actually just use, so it's got a bit of makeup on. So these are them all. There's quite a lot here, and they all either pink, purple or orange so far. And I'll start with the original beauty blender because I think this is where the trend started, although not started, but this is the one that has had the most hype. So this isn't completely not damp yet because I had washed them all, so it's still bigger than when you get it. So when you receive it, it's a really small pink sort of egg shaped with a point, and I didn't realize that you had to wet it. I got it in a Birchbox, I think, and I actually have repurchased. This is the second one, and now the sun decides to come out. Oh great, as usual. We'll just keep going. I can't see anything, so we'll just keep going. So this is the original beauty blender, and as you can see, it's like super soft. It's not hard for me to do. I can do it with my little finger and thumb. It's super soft. It grows quite large when you wet it, following it being when it's dry. As you can see there are some splits in it, and that's because I didn't use the Beauty Blender cleanser a couple of times, and that ruins any beauty blender. So if you've got a beauty blender, I would highly recommend you get the cleanser. And I know it's expensive, but it will make it last longer, and all your other sponges if you've got any. So it's made with a certain material that reacts badly with soaps and detergents, so it's not great for that, and so do the other ones, if I'm honest. However, I have just received a sponge cleanser, which is excellent. It honestly took everything off. I couldn't believe it. So I might do a bit of a review on that because I've only used it once. I'll see if it really tears it apart. This is so soft. It's got a lovely point, so you can use the wider end for the bottom of your face and to blend in product that way, and then the pointed end you can use underneath the eye, sort of get right in there, and it really does get right in and underneath, which I really like. And I really do like this, and I did repurchase it because I thought it was excellent, but I thought it at sort of £16 to £20 a time is just too expensive. So I did look into the Real Techniques sponge, and this is the cosmetic sponge that they have released, and it is very different in the sense that, yes, if you look at it this way, you can see the point, you can see it's almost egg-shaped, but it has this flat bit at the end, and I've also used this today. They are marginally larger and marginally stiffer, but not much. They are a lot bigger though. When you expand it with the water, they grow so much bigger than the beauty blender. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. However, if you're dabbing it on your face, I don't think that there's much difference in terms of how hard it is when you're bouncing it off your face. And the surface area that this covers is brilliant. I love the flat side of it. I think that is an excellent innovation in terms of the beauty blender. What a brilliant idea. However, I feel like the product sinks into this more than it does the beauty blender. The beauty blender does claim not to drink your product, which it doesn't. Sort of the water, once it goes in, acts as a barrier, and that's what this should do, but it just expands and then it does take in some of the product. So I don't know whether in terms of your foundation, if you're using an expensive foundation, a lot of it's going to go in here, so you might use twice the amount, and I think that's the only thing that I would say wasn't the best, but it does perform really well. And I got 2 of these in a double pack for something like £7.99, which really brings the cost right down to like £4 each, which is actually very, very good when you think about you could get so many more of these compared to the original Beauty Blender. So if you're on a budget, these would work really well. However, I also bought, and I have 2 of them, they look different colours and I'll explain why. This is the Beauty Blender from Makeup Revolution, and this is £4.99, so it's not cheap. And the other ones, the soft one and the hard one that they've got a black one, which is the hard one, and a sort of a nudie coloured one, cream coloured one, which is the softest one. And I wonder if the soft one is the same as the other one, and it's the same shape as this one, so I wonder if it's the same. I haven't tried that out and I do feel like I should, but I ordered this one because I'd heard quite good things about it. This is the first one I got. These have been great. They have lasted really long. This is a brand new one. This one has got a little bit of a tear in it, but I've washed it and washed it and washed it with lots of different detergents, and I really, really like this one. It is bigger. It's got more surface area than the Beauty Blender. I'll just pick up the Beauty Blender. They look sort of similar. There's more sort of air holes in this one, so I guess that's why it's spongier. This one's definitely got less it's sort of tighter knitted. If it was a knitted object, I guess there's, you know, it's a bit tighter. This though, when I rinsed it for the first time, because I always clean everything first, when I rinsed it for the first time, the amount of pink dye that came out of this was astronomical. I have to say though, that didn't happen so much with this one. There was pink dye, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying but you can see the difference in colour even. This one's a lot darker. So when I got this one out, I've made sure I rinsed it just to see if it was going to be the same for everyone. This had loads more than this one, and that does bother me a little bit. I just think, why bother putting the pink dye in? Just take it out and just give us we're going to put foundation on it anyway, so we don't need to have it as dyed as that. But these are very, very good. Are they as soft as the Beauty Blender? No. Are they as soft as the Real Technique sponge? No. But when you're using it on your face, when they're damp, make sure they're damp. I would not suggest using these dry at all. They are actually very soft. They do feel very nice, and they do apply makeup really well. So again, if you're on a budget, £4.99, these are really, really good. I keep squeezing them like this. It's quite weird. And I like the shape of these ones as well, because that point really gets right in, although the Real Techniques one does as well. If you wanted something softer, try the nude one, although I haven't tried it, so I can't recommend it. But this in particular is a great Beauty Blender on a budget, and one you can order online if you didn't fancy the Real Techniques one. But yeah, if you're doing you know, if you've got 20% off, or if you've got a voucher code or something with Makeup Revolution, definitely pick one up, because these would be a really good starter for sure. Next up is one that I picked up for Claire at TK Maxx. Yes, that's it. And I think it was a Precision Beauty one, and I don't know whether you can see, it's sort of still got the mark from where it was in there's like a bump in it, so it doesn't give you that flat finish. So that's not great when you're doing your makeup. I've used this once. Claire didn't like it, so I decided to try it. It's a lot denser, but it's still actually quite soft. You can see I can push it down like this, but I wouldn't say it was soft as any of the others I've shown you. So if I just show you, we'll do a sort of like squeeze test. It's like, that's a lot softer than that. That is a much denser, but it doesn't feel hard on your face. So I would definitely suggest, if you have a TK Maxx near you, this I think was £2.99, and this is why I'm showing it. This was only £2.99, and I believe if you go in and just try and find the Precision Beauty ones, because I believe that's what this one was called, definitely pick one up, because they are very inexpensive and they're not hard at all. However, let's get on to the bad. They're the good ones, I would say. Obviously, the best one out of those would be the Beauty Blender, 100%. I think the original Beauty Blender has got something just so much more unique about it. The Beauty Blender is from a brand that is Beauty Blender. That is all they do. All of the others do other things, but this is primarily the reason the Beauty Blender organisation does exist. So, you know you're going to get a good quality product that has been researched completely on, and that's why I would suggest with all of these picking up a Beauty Blender cleanser, like a solid cleanser or the actual cleanser for this, or any that say that they work. Now, I learned a tip. The reason mine don't look too bad, because they can look really gross with foundation, like this one, for example, is if you want to clean them, thoroughly clean them, deep clean them, use olive oil or like a nut oil or something first and really squeeze it through. Rinse that out and then use the soap, and that really gets out all the dirt. The oil will react with the makeup a bit like a cleansing oil and just get that dirt out. I use sometimes Dr. Bronner's soap, but actually that hasn't made them not fall apart, so just be careful using that. A detergent specifically for sponges is much better, and I've got one that I'm trialing at the moment that's from somewhere like Korea or something. Sorry, I cannot see what's going on in this video at all. I'm completely blinded now. So the ugly, the bad, the fails. This is a Avon sponge, and I was willing this to be amazing. So when you receive it, it is a lot larger than any of the others. It actually comes this size. Now you can see the difference in size there. This is twice the size of this, and it gets bigger. And oh my God, it's so dense and hard. And when you tap it on your face, it hurts. It actually physically hurts. The first time I used it, I actually felt like I was punching myself in the face. It's so heavy. And even Claire, because I didn't tell her anything about any of them, because she doesn't really, I don't always talk about makeup with her because that would be the most boring conversations ever. I said to her, look, can you try these out? Just tell me which is the softest and tell me which ones you think is the most expensive, etc, etc. And she knew immediately that the Beauty Blender, which is like the most malleable and amazing, that was the most expensive. She knew when she tested them all. And this one, she was like, that is awful. When I told her it was Avon, she was really disappointed because we both love Avon, but this is a big no. It's a big no-no. And Avon, if they could sort that out, if they could dupe the Beauty Blender better, even to the extent of getting one that's similar to this one, which is the one for Makeup Revolution. I mean, look at the size difference. Then actually they would sell that really well. And they're charging a fortune for this as well. I say a fortune, but like it's about £8, which is more than the Real Technique sponge. So you don't want to be spending that. The worst of the bunch, and I mean the worst Beauty Blender sponges in the world, I probably could guess they're in the world, are these. Now, yes, they've got the flat side. Yes, they've got the pointed edge. But these are from Makeup Gallery from Poundland. And geez, they are absolutely awful. Now, this is the size they come. I've dampened them. I ran them under the tap. They do not expand. They are absolutely the hardest sponges. I can't even really squeeze them down. Like, it's like having a stress ball. Oh my God, that is exactly what it is. You know, when you've got a stress ball and you're squeezing it and it's like it pushes back, like, oh my God, it's so painful. These are going straight in the bin. I'm putting them in my fails anyway. I've got my empties and fails coming up. But my God, these are the worst Beauty Blender sponges, makeup cosmetic sponges I have ever felt in my entire life. I mean, who would buy? I mean, there's so many inconsistencies as well. So this is one from Makeup Gallery, and it looks completely different to the one that's next to it. Like, even down to the texture's completely different. So this one is marginally softer than this one is rock solid. They're different colours, they're different shapes. There's no consistencies. So I don't know, maybe you'll buy one and it'll be ultra soft, but I doubt it. Both of them did not expand in water at all. So I really would not, especially around the eye area, do not recommend this whatsoever. Do not pick them up. Don't waste £1 on them. I'd rather save, and if you can, and this is my absolute recommendation, try and save some money and get the Beauty Blender and the cleanser. So you can get the Beauty Blender with the cleanser, and I think I got that for £20 or something like that. So you've got that, and that Beauty Blender cleanser lasted me about a year. because you don't need a lot. And if I was going to recommend anything, the Beauty Blender and the cleanser. Now, it has recently run out, and I was using other things because I didn't want it to run out, and that's why this has broken there, and I'm gutted about it. But I can still use this. It's just that bit there that's broken. It's not completely fallen apart, but it is on its way out. And it's great, that cleanser, for these other sponges that do work and they are still really soft. So the TK Maxx one, the Real Real Techniques, come on here, and the Makeup Revolution ones. So if I do try any others, if I do manage to try the Makeup Revolution softer sponge, I will let you know if it's any good. But I can honestly say the Avon one is a no, and the Makeup Gallery from Poundland, just no. Just don't even go there. So that's it. Thank you very much for, you know, I can't see now. I can see now. I wonder if you guys could even see anything that was going on because that sun is so bright. Thank you so much for watching my video, and let me know what you think. Have you got a beauty blender? Are you thinking about getting one? I'm just going to sort of shade myself. Thinking about getting a beauty blender. This is the worst way to do a video, isn't it? Comment down below, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, even through the sunshine, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, guys. Oh, I need to turn it off now.